Okay, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to discuss some programs in list. So let us see the program. Here I am going to take a list which contains values like this. This is my list now. Here I am going to filter, I am going to count something value, what it is. For example, if a string contains a starting letter and ending letters are same, if a string having starting character and ending characters both are same, we have to increment the count. That means here let us see the first item in a string. Here first character is A and also the last character is also A. That means you are going to increment the count 1. After that, let us go to the second item. First character is B and the last character is C. Here we are not incrementing the count. After that, the third item, first one is 1 and the last one is also 1. You are going to increment it as 2. That means this is your input, this is the expected output. Like this, to perform this operation, you are going to create a program by defining a function def character count something. I am writing a function. This is my function character count. So here I am passing words. This is my function. I stop it. In this function I am taking a variable count. Initially count is 0 I am taking. Next, here one more condition also there. The character should be, that means the characters in a list should be greater than 2. That means you won't allow the characters like A. That means the character should be a greater than 2, then only you are going to perform this operation. Here let us see, for word in words, for word in words, I am taking. What is words? What words is nothing but array. That means list. Words is nothing but this list. If you use for loop, what happened we all know. For the first time, this first item is going to be placed in word. And for the second iteration, the second item. And the third iteration, third item is going to be placed in word. Now check the condition. If len of word is greater than 1, it must be greater than 1. Because without greater than 1, that means without having 2 characters, it's not possible to check this condition. And I'm using and is a keyword. If I write like this, this is the condition 1 and next this is the condition 2 I'm going to writing. So you have to compromise these 2 conditions. You are going to satisfy both 2 conditions. Let us see. Word of 0 should be equals to word of minus 1. Should be equals to word of minus 1. Here let us see the condition. First I am check the condition length, whether it is greater than 2 or not. Next I am checking, I am writing a statement, word of 0 is equals to word of minus 1. What it is? For example, let us take the first item A, B, A. And indexing is 0, 1, 2. Next, negative indexing is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. I am using a if condition. Word of 0. What is word of 0? Is A. Word of 0 is A. Next, word of minus 1. What is word of minus 1 here? Minus 1 is also A. If these two are equal. That's what. If these two are equal, what you have to do? You have to increment the count. What is count now? Count is count plus equals to 1. And finally, you are going to return count. Now pass this list to the function. So here we have char count equal count of, I am passing this list ABC, ABA, next BBC, comma 1 2 1 1, 1 2 1 1. If I call this function, I am passed this list to the function. Now words contains this list. This list is going to the pass it to for loop. It's perform iterations and checking the conditions and increment the count. Finally, it returns the count. So this is the first program by using list. Okay, second program. Second program is also related to list. Let us see. List comprehension. What is list comprehension? It is a very important concept. Let us see the list comprehension. For example, I want to create a list. That list contains a values which is 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, like this, so on, 2 to the power of n. This is the list I want. 2 to the power of 0 means 1, 2 to the power of 1 means 2, 2 to the power of 2 means 4, so on. We have values. By using list comprehension, you have to create a list. You have to create a list with like this by using single line statement. Let us see how we are going to create a list. Now I am creating a list. List 1. I am creating list 1. Here I am writing 2 to the power of, what I want, 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1. That means how you can represent power. We have double star operator to perform power. That means a to the power of b is nothing but a double star b. You are going to represent a to the power of b like a double star b. Like this. Here you want 2 to the power of something. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. That means 2 is a common item. 2 to the power of, I am writing x. This is a list. I am starting with this brackets. This brackets, square brackets represents the list. 2 to the power of x. Now, for, I am writing a for loop in the list. For x in range of 10 and close this for loop. Let us see what happened. Here I started my square brackets here and ended my square brackets here. In that I am writing a statement 2 to the power of x. That means 2 to the power of x like that. For x in range of 10. Initially what x contains? X contains 0. This 0 is going to be passed to x. That means 2 to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0 is stored in list 1. Next, for the second iteration, 1 is going to be placed in x. Okay, this 1 is passed to x and 2 to the power of 1 is created. 2 to the power of 1 is created. For the third iteration 2 to the power of 2. Fourth iteration 3, 2 to the power of 3. Like this, so on up to you have 2 to the power of n. The values are stored in a list. The list name is, here we are mentioned list 1. If you print list 1, the output is a list. That means 1, 2, 4, so on like this. That means here it is a list. In that list, I just use a for loop. With that for loop, I created the items in a list. This is called list comprehension. Okay, let us see the second program in list comprehension. Here, I want to create a list. This list contains even number or odd number of items. That means if you take odd number of items, 1, 3, 5, 9 like this. These are the odd number of items. This list contains completely odd number of elements. So here 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Okay, let us see how to create this list by using list comprehension. Let us take a list, odd list. I started my list comprehension here by opening square brackets. Now x, I'm writing x here. Now I'm started my for loop for x in range of 10. Here let us observe what happened. For the first time x contains 0, for the second time 1, 2, 3 like this, and after that you have to check the condition whether that element is even number or odd number. How to check the condition? So you have to write the statement if x mod 2 equals to 1, and this is the condition I am writing, and close the list comprehension. Let us see what happened. For x in range of 10, next if x mod 2 is equals to 1, what happened? Let us see. First, for the first iteration, what x contains? X contains 0. This 0 is going to be passed to if statement. Pass it to if 0 mod 2 equals to 0. The condition is false. It doesn't store that value in this list. If the condition is true, then only it stores the value in that list. Next, for the second time, the for loop contains a value 1. That value is going to be stored, go to the if condition. Here it is 1 mod 2 equals to 1. Yes, it is true. Now it is true, then it allows to store that value in the list, odd list. Odd list is created, that value is going to be stored. Next, for the second time, the for loop is going to be iterated to 2. Now your for loop pass the value 2 and again check the condition. 2 mod 2 equals to 0, not a 1. The condition is false. This value is not stored in the odd list. Next, for the third iteration, the value is passed to the if condition, it is going to be pass, and the condition is true, it's going to be stored in the list. Like this, value 4, 5, everything up to 9 is going to be pass. The values are stored whether the condition is true. Here, if you want even list, what you have to write? Even list equals to x. What it is? For x in range of 10. What you have to write? Here, previously you have created the odd list because x mod 2 equals to 1. Here I am creating an even list if x mod 2 equals to 0. This is the condition you have to write for the even list and close the list. So this is the starting of the list and this is the closing of the list. Here your partition into 3 parts. This is a variable part and this is the looping part and this is the condition part. There is no need of commas and anything you have to write. So this is the variable part, that means variable what you want to store, and this is the looping and this is the condition part. We are going to divide it into 3 parts. So this is the second program in list comprehension. The next program, which is also related to list. Now I have a list L1. That list contains values like this. That means we all know list allows the duplicate items. That means 10 repeats and 11 also repeats. So my task here is I want to filter. That means I want to remove the duplicate items in the list. That means you have to write 10 one time only and 11 also one time, and remaining items are not repeated or are not duplicate items. That's why they are going to continue. I want to remove the duplicate items. How we are going to write the program for this? We have many ways to write the program for that. So I'm going to explain the one procedure. So you used to practice another procedure for that. Let us see. I'm going to defining a function. Let us see. So I'm going to create duplicate items, which is equals to set. What is set? Set here is I'm created a set. What is the properties of set? Set doesn't allows the duplicate items. We all know. So I create a set, empty set. The name of that set is duplicate items. The name of that set is duplicate items. So I have list L1 and that list contains the information what we have, and next I have duplicate items. This is not a list, this is a set. This is a set, and next I'm going to create one more list. That means that is nothing but filter list. That is nothing but filter list. This list contains the filtered information. That means after removing of these duplicate items, I am going to store in this list. So this is the variables I am taking. I am taking L1, which contains the information what we have, and next duplicate items. This is nothing but set. So next one is the filter list. That is nothing but the empty list I am taken. Now we are going to take the first for loop. For I in L1. What is L1? L1 is nothing but the list what we have. First, initially you are going to pass the values one by one to I, that means 10, 11, 12, 30, like this. So you are going to check whether the item is repeat or not. So that is the condition. For that I am doing one procedure. If I in if I in duplicate item. So here you can write one more condition. If by using not by using not also you can write. So let us see. I not in duplicate item. Let us see what happened. So here you have to write that means I not in duplicate, that means this list. What you have to do, you have to append the value filter list of dot append of I. Here you append the value to this filter list, and also you are going to update the, here you are going to add of I. Next, finally you are going to print this filter list. Let us see what happened. First, initially your value is 10. That means L1 passes the value 10. 10 not in duplicate item. What is duplicate item? Duplicate item is nothing but a set. Yes, initially this set is empty. That means 10 not in duplicate item. That means now that the duplicate item is empty, that means the condition is true. It going to be passed. Filter list dot append. What is the need of append? Append is going to be insert the value at the end. That means the 10 value is going to be stored in filter list, and duplicate item dot add I means 10. Again you are added 10 to the duplicate items. Next, again for loop iterates. Next, 11. 11 is going to be passed again. Now I is 11. 11 not in duplicate items. Check the duplicate item. In the duplicate item we don't have 11. Yes, that's why you are go to the if condition, filter dot list dot append of I means 11. 11 is going to be stored here, and duplicate item dot I is also 11. Like this, for the third iteration, 12 is passed. 12 not in duplicate item. Check the duplicate item 12. That means 10 contains, 11 contains, but not 12. That means the condition is true. Filter dot list dot append. That means 11 is also, that means 12 is also stored here, and 12 is also stored in duplicate item. Next, 10 over 11 over 12, and next 30. 30 is passed to I. 30 not in duplicate item. Yes, 30 is not in duplicate item. Then again add it in filter list and duplicate list. That means 30 is added here and also added here. Next, let us see. And here you have one more value 10. 10 is passed to I. 10 not in duplicate items. Check the duplicate items. You have 10. 10 not in duplicate items. You write a condition 10 not in duplicate items. It is false. That's why it's not execute these two statements. Again, this statement is, that means this 10 is not inserted. Next, again you have 11. 11 not in duplicate items. Check the duplicate items. duplicate items contains 11, that's why again it's not executed. Next, finally 40. So 40 not in duplicate item. Check the duplicate item, it contains 10, 11, 12, 30, but not 40. The condition is true, it updates the filter item and duplicate items with 40. Next, 50. 50 not in duplicate items, condition is true, so it appends the value 50 finally. Finally, so you have a filter list. You have a filter list. This list contains the items after removing of the duplicate items. Finally, your print filter list. So this is the program we have. You have many more procedures to perform this task. You have to practice all the procedures and think logically how we are going to simplify this task.